Hey guys, it's Katie here with Life Mundane and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys 10 things that you need to know about the new Fix-It Grammar from IEW. If you have not heard the news, they have completely revamped Fix-It Grammar. It is the same things you loved about the original one, but with many new features and some slight changes that you're going to want to know about. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Katie and welcome to Life in the Mundane. I am second generation homeschool mom of 6 beautiful kiddos, and on this channel we talk all things resources. I love to share with you resources that are going to help you in your homeschooling and help encourage you in your biblical parenting and how you can utilize those to their fullest potential so that you can make the most of the little moments. When I say it's all new, I mean all new. The formatting is completely different, and so are the stories, but we'll get to that in just a second. So the first thing that you should know about the new Fix-It Grammar is the layout of the student pages is significantly different. In the past, your child would flip open a page that looked like this, and it would have one sentence for your child to correct each day. With that though, there would be 4 different days on a page, so your entire week's worth of work is in one page for you. Now, with the new student books, it is just one sentence per page. This will help your child avoid the overwhelm. I know my child, even though it's only one sentence a day, when they see all that week's work ahead of them, can get a little overwhelmed. And it also helps to avoid distractions or children accidentally starting to edit one sentence and jumping to another. So that is one thing you should know about the new Fix-It Grammar. The second thing you should know is that along with the student pages only having one sentence per page, they've now included this amazing student guide at the top. This guide is going to tell your child exactly what fixes they are looking for within the sentence. So in this particular sentence, they're looking for 1 article, 5 nouns, 1 pronoun, 4 adjectives, 1 adverb, 3 capitals, 1 comma, very specific. And this works as a checklist for your kids, which fits in perfectly with the rest of the IEW products. It's all about equipping our kids. We're not quizzing them, we're trying to equip them to learn. And so my son loves Fix-It Grammar, but one of the challenges he has now with the older version is that he will label everything and everything he labels is correct, but oftentimes he'll be missing a few concepts. I a lot of times will look at the teacher book and let him know, hey bud, you're missing 2 prepositions. And then he'll look at it and be able to spot them immediately. So I'm really excited they've included this guide at the top so that my child can have that already at the beginning. It will set them up for success, feeling like they are doing a really good job, and also helping them with their detective skills to look a little deeper to figure out where those other things might be. The third thing you need to know is within the student pages, not only do you have the guide and the 1 sentence, but you now have the ability to rewrite the sentence within the student book. This is going to be huge. It eliminates the need for extra notebooks and binders. It's going to make everything very streamlined, and it's going to give you the ability to take things on the go a lot easier. In level 1 and 2, you'll notice the writing lines are actually have the grid on them and are a little bit bigger, whereas in level 3 and beyond, you will just have straight solid lines for your child, which should match up closer to where their writing skills are. They'll be able to read it, mark it, fix it, and rewrite it all on one page. Number 4 is that new levels have been added to the Fix-It Grammar collection. In the past, you would start at book 1, which was the nose tree story, and then you would jump to book 2, which was Robin Hood. However, a lot of parents found that there was a bit of a jump when it came to those 2 levels. A lot of kids would do very well with nose tree. They would start out doing well into Robin Hood, and very quickly it got really intense and oftentimes was a struggle for many kids. So they decided to bridge the gap by adding a new level. Level 2, it is now the Town and Country Mouse. So you have Nose Tree, Town and Country Mouse, and then you have Robin Hood. They've also added some new levels for the older. I will link all that information down below so that you guys can check out what the new levels are. But these new levels are really designed to help bridge those gaps, to give your kids more practice on the things that they need so that they can be set up for success once again. Speaking of the new books, go check out my friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt. We are teaming up together to do these videos kind of in conjunction with one another, and she's actually going to be showing you an in-depth flip through of the new Fix-It Grammar book 2. This is something we're both really excited about. We both have kids that are going into this level, so she's going to give you a flip through. You're going to be able to see all the things that I'm talking about here in this video and get a more in-depth look. we're also going to be teaming up together to do a giveaway for you guys. We want to give you guys a complete set of the Fix-It Grammar Level 2, and we want to include the new grammar cards. So you guys can have the opportunity to enter to win that full set by going down to the link in the description here on my video or on her video, clicking to enter that, and we will draw a winner here on Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Now, you heard me mention that you're going to get the opportunity to win the new Fix-It Grammar cards. But what is that? That brings us to number 5 on our list of things you need to know. IEW has released new Fix-It Grammar cards that you can utilize in your lessons. The beautiful thing about these cards is there is one pack for all the levels. So you don't need to buy a new one each level. You just get one and you're good to go. They are no longer including grammar cards within the actual books. In the past, you probably noticed that in the student packets, they would have these grammar cards that your child could use. It would give them clues about different grammar concepts, and then on the back would give them additional information. They are no longer including those in the books because they have kind of streamlined it, so to speak. They took out just the most important concepts that your child really needs review on, turned them into cards that are color-coded. So one color is the 8 parts of speech. One color is something else. It gives you different things. It makes it really easy to find. They've also included at the front page of each of the levels a little guide to the grammar cards. So they say in this level, level 2, here are the grammar cards that you're going to need, and here's what weeks they are introduced. Not every one of the grammar cards will be introduced in every book, obviously, because they are all throughout. But this will help you give you a quick guide. The new grammar cards also include a downloadable link that you can use with materials to help you turn these cards into fun games, which is another great way to just make learning fun and to help them learn these grammar concepts. So now that we've looked at the student materials, let's look at what's different about the teacher materials. And that brings us to number 6. All new teacher guides. Same great notes as before, but with a much better updated format, at least in my opinion. Now your page numbers are going to correlate with your students' page numbers because they also have one per page. But instead of a whole long page of notes in the old book that looks something like this, where you have the corrections up here and then all of these notes, you are now going to have it streamlined for your child. So they just have this small box down here under the corrections that you will be able to quickly identify and see what needs to be fixed and why. They still included the why, so no worries there, but with it, it'll say capitalization. The word on needs to be capitalized. And it says because it's the first words of the sentence. Mondays needs to be capitalized because it's a proper noun. Now, number 7 is big. And everybody just take a deep breath before I give you the news. There is no longer going to be digital copies of the student books available for any of the Fix-It Grammars. In the past, when you ordered a new level of Fix-It Grammar, you would have a blue page in the front. And with that, it would have download instructions where you could download the student guide. So all you'd have to do is buy the teacher guide, then you could download the student guide. They have decided to do away with that. There is still a blue sheet in the front, and there are still some great resources they have available for you to download, but no longer is there the student guide. Now, I know this may come as a big surprise to many of you, but I was listening in on an IEW seminar where they explained this decision and the fact that because they now are doing one sentence per page instead of having an entire week's worth on one page, it significantly increased the amount of pages that were needed for the student page. And they just felt like that was a big burden to put on families to print off all of those copies. They are offering a great package deal where you can buy the teacher's guide and the student guide at a significantly reduced price than buying them separate. So be sure to check that out down in the link below. So number 8 covers the question that I know you're going to ask. What level should my child be going into? We just finished Robin Hood. Should I go up to the next level to book 4? Or should I stay in book 3 or should I go back to 2? Here is a very general answer. But before I give you the general answer, I do want to let you know that it is very much on a case-by-case basis, and IEW has representatives on the phone constantly that are available to actually talk through your child's specific situation and help you pick the level that works best for you. I will link their number down below, and if you are questioning at all which level your child should go in, I really recommend giving them a call. The general gist of the information that I get, though, is if your child has completed a level or will be completing a level this year and they are doing super well with it, they're really mastering the concepts, they're not struggling at all, then you can move them to the next book in the series. So my son is doing Nose Tree, he's doing great with it. We are going to move into Town and Country Mouse. However, if your child is working on a level and they are really struggling with it and they are just need some more practice and they're really grappling with it, you can actually move to that same level within the new books. So if they are in Robin Hood, for instance, right now, and they're grappling with it, they're struggling with it, you may want to just move to the new Robin. The stories have been updated and changed. So there's enough change there to keep your kids engaged and interested. There are new vocabulary words, although they are still very rich. Some of the story details have also been changed, so your child will still be very engaged and it won't be doing the same old same thing, finding the same problems here or there, because they have moved everything around. So you can either move them laterally or you can move them up or down a level. But again, if you need any help or advice with that, be sure to call their hotline. The ninth thing you should know is they've included a lot of new things in the back of the book. They are no longer in the student book putting the grammar glossary in there. They are now only including that in the student book, which I actually like. It's less overwhelming to the kids, and I'm honestly the one that tends to look at it. That gives you things like, hey, here's what a pronoun is, here's an explanation, and here's a lot of different examples of that topic. Or here's a detailed explanation of what sentences, clauses, and phrases are and how they're different. So those tools are still going to be available for you in your teacher's guide, but in your student book, they will no longer be in there. Now in the back of your student book, your student will be able to find the complete story all in one place. So your child can easily read from the story from beginning to end instead of just one sentence at a time. Now I will warn you that Andrew Pudwa, who is the well-respected teacher of IEW, does say that having this here in the book could be both a blessing or a curse. So just use it for your child in the best way you know fit. And what I mean by that is that some children, the fun of it, the engagement of it, the desire to keep coming back to each week, each day, doing another sentence, is that they don't know what's coming next. So it keeps them kind of on the hook, so to speak, to be able to see what part of the story is going to happen next. So for those kids, maybe don't look at the back of the book. Don't look at that complete story all in one format until you get to the end. I'm actually planning on doing that with my son as a fun treat where he can read through the whole story sequentially at the end when we've completed the book. But for your children who need the big picture first, who get very overwhelmed or very lost in the details, this is now a great reference guide in the back of your book. Use it in the way that's best for your child. Also in the back of the book, they have included these great word banks that your child can fill out all throughout the year. There's one for ly adverbs, one for strong verbs, and one for quality adjectives in the level 2 book. This will be a great way that your child can fill that out and use that word bank as a constant reference tool all throughout the year instead of trying to remember from week to week what are some good ones they could use. The 10th and final thing you should know about Fix-It Grammar is, what if I have an old version? Am I out of luck? Are they compatible? Well, I'm here to answer that question for you. First, they are not compatible because of the amount of changes that have been made to both the story structure as well as to what level things are introduced. They will not be compatible. You cannot use an old teacher's book and use a current student book. However, IEW has such a heart for families. They know that homeschool families are on a budget. They recognize that sometimes you've already purchased something for next year or you've passed it down from maybe an older child to a younger child, and they want to support you in that. So they actually have a guarantee as a company that they will support their old curriculum, their old materials for up to 5 years. I would really encourage you to check out the new version. I just think the features in it are so amazing. I'm really excited to dive into it next year, but did want to give you that information just so you know. I hope these 10 things have been helpful. Let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts about the new Fix-It Grammar, and be sure to check out the link below for Megan's video to see that in-depth flip through of the Town and Country Mouse and to enter our giveaway. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye!